Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing well. So last lecture we have studied how we can do the incremental pipeline and all this thing, and today we'll learn about how we can do the most important topic like SCD type 1, type 2, and mostly I will cover type 1 and type 2. So the SCD stands for slowly changing dimension. Okay, so basically this concept is most important and frequently asked interview question in any Azure data engineer interviews. So I will give like how it works. I will open one simple Excel and I will try to show how it works. Okay, suppose we have one ID, name, and suppose for say city. Okay, so okay, so suppose we have one, two, three, four. Okay, and name as just one. Okay, so like this we have IDs and the name and city. Suppose I will take as Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai, and Daman. Okay, so suppose like this we have one table. Okay, so we have some information, piece of data. We have ID, name, and city, and so for say we have received another set of data like ID, name and city with suppose for say we have received ID of this one and this test for change the data to Daman to suppose you can say man new. So in this case how it will replace the data. Okay, so how it will replace the data, suppose we have the ID of this one. Okay, so what we'll do, it will just come here and it will do this and it will replace this one. Okay, so like this it will happen. Okay, so then old record will be deleted and the new instead of old record the new data will be updated. Okay, suppose so we have another data received like 5 test 5, and suppose we have received something around Noida or something. Okay, Noida we have received. So in this case, how it will work? So as the this one is not repeating, the ID is not repeating. So what we'll do? It will just come here and it will update the table. Okay. So like this, the type one will work. Okay. So the type one, what will happen? Suppose if we have some IDs available already, so in that case, it will just update the old record. If the ID is not available, so it will just update the uh, new record only. Okay, so what we can say, suppose, okay, so in type 1, if id is exist, then it will update the old record with new data, or if and if id is not exist, it will just insert the new data. Okay, so that's the meaning of SCD type 1. Okay, suppose we have received, as I told, so these two data we have received. like test for this one and 5 test 5 Noida. Okay, so before that the test for Daman was there and the ID 5 was not available. So how it happened? Just it updated the new record with the old record, and it just the this 5 ID is inserted in newly. Okay, so that's how the SCD type 1 work. So if I come to SCD type 2, okay. Okay, suppose I will use again the same same details. Okay, now so now also again we have received how we can tell. Okay, let me do that. Suppose I have received one, two, three, then test one, test two, test three. Okay, suppose for say I have received Delhi new, Bangalore new, and Mumbai new. Okay, so how it will replace this one? We have this data already. Okay, so we have already existing data and we have received this set of data. Okay, because these members are changing the address. Okay, so in this case what will happen? So in SCD type 1 we have to maintain one more column like, okay, status, or we can say like status or something. We can, this is a status flag. Okay, we can just tell like something flag or something to maintain. Okay, I will explain this one. Okay, so suppose, so what we'll do in SCD type 1, for this old record we have to maintain one for everything, one. Okay, suppose for every the existing detail will maintain as one. Okay, then we have received this set of new data. So what will happen? It will just do this. Okay, so now what will happen? So now what will happen? The old record, suppose Delhi new, this will change to 1 and this will change to 0. Okay, now this will change to 1 and this will change to 0. Okay, similarly for this will change to 1 and this will change to 0. So like that we will update. So the recent data will be this thing and this thing, and these two data will be there, but status flag will be 0. So like that it will happen for SCD type 2. So what we did, so suppose we have set up data like this. Previously we have set the status flag as 1. Okay, then we have this much of data, and for every data, the existing data, we have set the status flag as 0, sorry, status flag as 1. Okay, then we have received another set of data with newly changed address. So in that case what will happen? So once we received all these details, right, so after that, so it will just come and update the table. Okay, with the changing of status flag. Suppose for say the new detail, new address detail will change to 1, and old address detail, the status flag will be changed to 0. Okay, so like that SCD type 2 will work. Then coming to SCD type 3. Okay, so, so right now, so in SCD type 1, what we did, we just updated the whatever new address, and if the completely new address is coming, then we'll just insert the new as a new record. In the SCD type 2, we are updating the status flag. Okay, in SCD type 3, what will happen? So we'll maintain two status flag. One is old status flag, or maybe can like we can tell old status, then new status, new status. Okay. So what I meant by old status and new status, suppose like this, again we have some setup data up to this. Okay. Then we have received setup data of this one. Okay. So what will happen? So in old status, it will change to Delhi. Old status it will be like this. Okay. The new status will be like this. So like this it will maintain in the SCD type 3. But again, this has a very one big disadvantage, like so the number of record, like suppose for say tomorrow it will increase to 1000, then there is one additional column like old status for every 1000 rows. Okay, so we cannot use SCD type 3, not particularly used anywhere, and it is not very popular because it will consume more data compared to SCD type 1 and type 2. SCD type 2 also it consumes data because it is maintaining one additional column data like status flag. It is maintaining, it will consume some bytes of data. Okay, so but compared to SCD type 3, SCD type 2 and type 1 are better. Okay, so type 4 it is not used, uh, it is not at all used, so I will skip that part as of now. Okay, so this is all the SCD type 1, type 2 and type 3. So as of now I will cover SCD type 1 and type 2, and SCT type 3 we can look into Google or something and you can do it. Okay, so so I hope you understood this SCT type 1 and type 2. So in SCT type 1 it is just updating the new record with the old record. Okay, old record with new record, and if new ID is coming it is just inserting, and SCD type 2 it is just updating the flag, and SCD type 3 it is maintaining both old status and new status. Okay, so you can just remember like this. Okay, now okay, so like this it will happen. So before that I will come to whiteboard and I will explain some concept. Suppose what will happen, we have one ADLS, and we have some SQL. Okay, database, you can tell the database. Okay, so first say one third party, we third party push some data in this SQL. Okay, suppose we have some particular data, so test 1, T2 and T3. Okay, so this third party push some data with some new record into this ADLS. So that will, that should be come to this one, and that should update this existing table data. Okay, so that is normal our SCD type 1. Suppose this third party updated with T1 with some updating result, T2 with some updating result, T3 with some updating result. So and one more additional tab, detail to that file, so that will update to the database. Okay, so what will happen next, so we'll follow the same SCD type 1 approach. Okay, so I will try to cover this scenario. Suppose mm, I have one, I have created one file called this like this ID name city. Okay, so where I am given, I have given the 1 2 3 4 and name as test 1, test 2, test 3 and test 4, and city as Bangalore, like this. Okay, so what I did here, so I have uploaded this file to my ADLS, and I have added one more additional what you call additional row like 5 test 5 with this one. Okay, so once I did that, so I have I will come to this one because I need to create one database also. Okay, so to create the database, I have written some queries. Okay, so like this. Okay, so I'm just creating a table with the ID, name, city, name as Bharkar and city as Bharkar. Okay, the creating table, the syntax are create table, table name with values like ID, whatever column name you want to give, and the type of the particular column name. Okay, so once I do that, I'll just hit the enter. Okay, so as of now we cannot see anything. So now I will insert some rows. Okay, okay, like this. One, two, three, four. Okay, so I have right now, if I do this, if I'll refresh this one, a city type one, it is coming, right? So to see the details of particular table, select star from dbo dot. Okay, so like this. So as of now, you can see my datas are available in this one. Okay, test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4 in Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, Noida. So right now in my ADLS file, I have some details. So you consider this one like some third party. I have one database with all this detail. I have one database with customer names are there and cities available. Then in third party, he uploaded some details like this with updated details like whatever we have existing, they have updated some details. Okay, and they have pushed, this will happen automatically, this will happen automatically end to end, like CI/CD will happen, it will automatically push this file. But as of now, as I have not set up that, I will cover in the later part of this video. Okay, so it is the manual kind of thing, we just consider like that. Okay, and it just came to our ADLS location. What will happen now? So first of all, I will um, hmm, hmm, I will create one data set. Okay, so I hope you guys know the how to create a data set and all. ADLS, sorry, data lake. Okay, CSV, SPT type 1, ADLS, CSV. Okay, link service, I will use this one. I will use my test container. Oh, where is this one? Test container, SPT type 1, ADLS file. Okay, okay. So like this, I have created one data set where I can, if I preview the data, I am able to see this one, correct? ID 1, 2, 3, 4, all these things. So right now what I need to do, I need to create another data set which will connect to our SQL DB. Okay, S3 type 1 SQL DB. Okay, link service. I have already created this link service. Hope you guys know already all these things. Right now I will choose SCD type 1. Okay, and I will click on OK. Oh, otherwise, what I can do, I will create two parameter, schema name and table name. Okay, I have already given like how to create all this schema name and parameters. So what we'll do, I will just click on edit. Instead of this, I will use a dynamic content schema name. Here also I will use dynamic content table name. Okay, okay. So I have just parameterized it so that we can use in the S3 type 2 also the same. Okay, again. So we need to use the same kind of method. So that's why I'm just using the parameterization. Okay. So it is done, it is done. Okay, now what I need to do, I will create one new pipeline. So normally in ACD type 1, we don't need any data flow or something. We just need one simple copy activity. With that, we can do this ACD type 1. Okay, copy activity. Okay, so I will, what I'll do in the source, okay, source consider like this. Okay, from in the source is our ADLS. There some third party is putting some file. Okay, that file we need to update in our database. So what we can do, in this source we need to select this one, SCD type 1 ADLS. Okay, this one we need to select here. Then in the sync I can see this data. Okay, we have this data. Okay, in the sync what I need to do, db std type 1 db. Okay, so here I will let me see dbo. I'm just copying the schema name. Okay, so this is the schema name, and schema name first is schema name dot table name. So that's why I'm just copying the schema name. So this is case sensitive, that's why I'm just copy pasting it. Okay, so I'm doing that. I'm just source are selecting as our ADLS, and sync I'm selecting as database, where I have created a new table, inserted some data. Okay, so that this table need to be updated. So right now, as you can see this, right, so this table should be updated once our someone has put some file inside the ADLS. So that's concept you just visualize in the mind. Okay, so in this you can just visualize in the mind, like this is our source, this is our ADLS. Okay, this is our database where we have already one table with some details. Okay, and in someone something happened and some pipeline ran and some data came to our ADLS. So once the data came to ADLS, it will just update our old record with our new record. Okay, so in the source, I've just selected ADLS, whatever data set I have created in the sync, I've just connected to the data set. So now we have in the write behavior. Write behavior, you can see, right? We have an call offset. So what will happen in the offset? Insert, if you select it. So we have already ID column and some IDs are already available. So if you insert this one, it will fail because the already IDs are available, so it won't insert directly. So instead of that, offset what will happen, so whatever IDs are there, that will be there. But if the uh, new record is having some same ID, then it will just update and insert. So offset means update and insert. Okay, so that is the meaning of offset. Okay, so right now again, once we do this right behavioral offset, right now we have to see what column we need to update and insert. So that is, then this key column value is coming. Okay, key column, what we need to do, just refresh it, it will come. So we are depending upon IDs. Okay, so we can select ID. So what will happen, it will update this ID and it will insert if any new IDs are coming. Okay, okay, that's it guys. Okay, then I will just start the debug. Okay, so you can see as of now our data is coming like this. Okay, now once the pipeline runs successfully, we'll see this how this Bangalore data will change to new. Okay, Bangalore new, and as per this one, Bangalore new, Delhi new. Okay, and one more additional column will be, sorry, one more additional row will be available there. Okay, let it finish. It got failed. Let me see, sync site is not target from zero the column. The target. Okay, let me see why happened. Sync site from zero. Source said it is correct. It is having data. Okay. Prop 0. Okay. Why it is coming as prop 0? Huh. Why it is coming as prop 0? First row as header. Okay. So, so whenever you are um, like selecting one text file or CSV file from IDLS, just select this first row as header, because otherwise it will create one default like header columns like prop 0 and prop 2 all like this. So be aware of this thing. Okay, so that's why it was failing. If you can see, it was telling like prop 0 is not found in any target. Okay, so that's why it was failing. Okay, so just debug it yourself. Okay, it will be easy to crack any interview also. So at all issues you faced while creating any pipeline, you can say all these things. Okay, uh, okay, I have fixed the error. Let's see. We'll run the pipeline. Hopefully it will pass successfully. Let it run. So what we have done, we have just selected the source side IDLS and sync side as our database. Okay, so that's what we did. We did. Okay, yeah, it got succeeded. Okay, right now we'll go to our database and we'll run the old query again. Okay, so what happened here? So So the test one data got updated with Bangalore new, okay, and this ID2 again updated with new data, and one more additional row got inserted, okay. So we have basically solved the first problem, okay, SCD type 1. But again, so this is fine, but sometime we want to use the old data also, okay. So that time what we need to do? So in let me open one text file. Okay, so I have given this one, right? Some no type of. Okay, so in SCD type 2, what will happen? If ID exists, then we need to we need to update. Just a second. We will insert the row and make it active while updating the old row. Okay, row. Okay, let's deactivate, and if not exist, you will insert. Okay, so if IDs exist, we'll insert the row, okay, and make it active while updating the old row. Okay, so that's what I meant. We'll update, but we'll deactivate this one as we are deactivating to 0 and activating the new status as 1. So like that, what I mentioned here, we'll update the activate the new record and update the new row. Okay, and if not, we'll just simply insert with old value, means the status flag as 1. So that's what I mentioned. Okay, so hopefully I have cleared this SCD type 1 all these queries and doubt. Okay, so what I need to do now, we'll go to SCD type 2. Okay, SCD type 2. Okay, so what we'll do here, just a second. Okay, so first of all, once in the data flow, once you click on this, if you want add the source, okay, Here you can select the source as the file what we have inserted. This file we can select. Okay, this one. Okay, so what I'll do, source from ADLS. Okay, source from ADLS. So what is the file name? This one, right? SCD type 1 ADLS. Okay, so this one we'll see. So here again you need to do one thing like uh, just click on this data flow debug and click on OK. So once you do that, what you need to do, it will take some time, and once you do that, then you need to click on this data preview, so see like what all the records are there available. Okay, it will just take some time. Yeah, so it got started. Now if you refresh it, it will take some time, guys. Okay, have some patience. So I have already covered all this thing, right? So what are lot different tabs are available here, all this thing. Okay. Okay. Still it is taking time. So meanwhile, what we can do, suppose for say we have one some particular data, and we need another source, because why? We have one source, but we need to compare these two source, like another source, suppose we got some detail from database. Okay, so we need to compare these two tables have same IDs or not, all this thing. Okay, so that's why we need to create one more and table. Okay, so like what we created as for SCD type 1, we need to create another table. So now after once we create the table, we need to uh, perform some kind of join kind of thing. Okay, to see like what all are the similar columns are available for uh, both the sources, then we'll combiningly do the transform. Okay, so that's why I will create one source. Okay, meanwhile it got updated. Okay, it is coming as column 1 2 3 as null. Okay, it is fine. If I go to projection, I'll just import the projection. Okay, so it got imported, like all this column name, as you can see, it got updated. Okay, so right now what I need to do, I need to create another table. Okay, like SCD type 1, I need to create another table. Okay, here while creating the new table, right, as you can see, I have added one more column as active flag. Okay, here we need to see all the active flag. As I will, while creating, I will add for everything is, as for the first time I will just give one. Okay, then from the next time we'll change, because once you update it, it will change to 1 to 0. Okay, so I will create this one. Okay, now I will import this one. Okay, so as you can see, I've just given some names, some IDs, and active flag as one for every details. Then I will run it, and then I will refresh it. Okay, as you can see, everything got updated, and we have created one more table with active flag as a new column. Now I will just create one more source from DB. Okay, here I need to create another dataset as SQL city type to DB. Here I will select this one, city type 2. Okay, I'll click on OK. So if I'll go to here, if I go to data preview, I should be able to see all the recent data. Okay, let it load. Okay, ID 1. So it got updated. ID, name, city, and active flag. Okay, active flag, you can see all this as 1111. Then here, if I go to here, I will select one more activity called select. Okay, we have covered all this thing, like how to all do all this, select all this thing. Okay, we'll select transform, and here we'll just select ID only. Just a second, what is happening? Sources. So what we'll do, we'll just remove this one. Okay, and we'll just delete this one. We just need ID and active flag. So that's what we are just selecting. Okay, let me recheck once. Yeah, we just need ID and active flag. Okay, okay, that is fine. Yeah, now once we go to this data preview, and we'll just refresh it. Okay, so we'll just rename it like DB ID and DB. So just to identify, like, because this thing we need to use again for here again, so that's what we are just naming it DB. Okay, so that we can verify all this thing in later. Okay, as you can see, we got this result as ID and active flag. Now what we need to do, we need to use some activity in our source one. So what we need to do, in here we can use join also, and we can use lookup activity also. Lookup activity, what will happen? Okay, so it will just see all the records are available, commonly available for both the sources. Okay, so here what you need to do, lookup one. Okay, in the primary source, we need to select this one. Okay, this select, not from here, we need to select this primary source from here. Okay, source from, we need to select this one. Mm, just a second. Uh-huh. No. Source primary stream. Primary stream should be coming to from source. Okay. Source from DB. Source from ADLS. Okay, my bad. Source from ADLS. Lookup stream. Okay, I got it. Lookup stream we need to select as this one. Source from DB. Or you can select this select one also. Okay, we can, as the select one is output of this one, select one we can select. Okay, so basically, as you can see, this output is taking as lookup activity. This one is taking input from this one, lookup activity source from ADLS, and another input from select one from source from DB. Okay, here what we need to select, here we need to select as ID, and here you need to select as DB ID. Okay, now once you go to here, and if you go to this data preview, we'll see how it works. Okay, so what is happening now? So basically it is checking whatever records are available. Okay, suppose for this one, these old records are available. Okay, so DB ID is one, and DB active flag is one. Okay, so ID is coming from ADLS and this is from DB ID. Okay, database. Okay, so that's why it is checking as all this thing. And here the whatever row is new, it is coming as null. Okay, so as you can see, null and DB active as null. Okay, so that's why it is coming as this one. Okay, right now what we need to do, we need to add one more activity in our source one. Okay, just I'm checking what I need to do. Lookup activity we have used, then we have used select one. Okay, DB ID we have used, lookup activity DB ID, then we need to use, that is fine, it's fine. Okay, we got this result from data preview, we can see this result. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to use another activity called filter activity. Okay, so right now what we need to do, we need to use one more activity called filter activity. So we got this one, all this result, but we just want the record with the status, we don't want this null status. Okay, we just want to see the record having with the DB ID and DB active ID. Okay, so what we need to do, in the filter activity, if you go to here, we have filter on, we have, okay, we have field like open expression builder. What you need to do, we need to open it here, we need to search for null. Null not coming. Just a second. uh Null is not coming. Is null? Okay, is null is coming. Okay, so we need to use this is null function. Okay, inside here we need to pass this DB ID. Okay, inside this we need to pass this DB ID. So I just negated this function, like, so DB ID, wherever the DB ID is not null, we just want those columns only. Okay, so that's what our, we have filtered it on the condition. We want the columns where the DB ID is not null. Okay, that's what we did on this filter. Okay, so right now we'll just refresh it. So once we refresh, we should be able to, yeah. So as you can see, the null value got omitted. So we just able to see all this record having all the details only. Okay. So what we did, we just did the filter on, like, wherever the field is not null, we just want all these details only, all this column. Okay. So right now what we need to do, we need to use another select activity. Okay. So what we need to select, we need only this DB ID and flag only. So we don't need all these columns. Okay, we just need ID only. Okay, I'm just checking my notes, guys. Okay, this type 2 is a bit complex. Okay, so that's why I'm just getting confused also. Okay, so I'm just filtering all this thing. I don't want any record. I just want ID. Okay, I'll just delete it. Delete, delete, delete. So from here, whatever we got right, we just want ID only. So that's why I'm just filtering with this ID. We don't want anything else. Okay. I go to this one. Sorry. Yeah, we can see those only ID. So right now what we need to do, we need to use one more activity called derived column. Okay. So what we need to do here, we need to select it here like this column is there, right? We need to send us active flag. Okay. I'm just renaming, I'm just using as a alias name. Okay, so that's it. I'm just not doing anything here. I'm just mentioning as 0. Okay, so what I'm doing here, so wherever I am getting all this status as 1, right, I'm just updating those as 0 only. Okay, so wherever if I got any new result, I will just update as 0 status in our selected column. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, so what I did here, basically I just filter it and I have activity, DB active status, all this thing, DB ID and ID was 1 1 1 2 3 4. Here I got this 1 2 3 4 and here I just updated this 1 2 3 4 as active flag as 0000 because as of now we don't have any new record with us right now. So that's why we just updating the active flag as 0000. Okay, now what you need to select here, we need to select a sync. Okay, so in the sync what you need to do in the sync also, sync one. Okay, let it get sync one. Here scd type 2 sync, I'm just searching, guys. Okay, scd type 1. I'm just sync one dataset. Need to create, I guess. Then I have not created scd type 2 uh, detail, right? Source I have selected this one, SCD type DB. Where is this one? Oh, okay. I was just searching this one only because either I have created or not. Okay. So I was just searching like this data set I have created or not. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I just searching this one. What is the name? I just forgot. SCD type 1. Okay. Okay, so be cautious, guys, because otherwise you will get confused like me. Okay. Okay, so I just selected this one. So I was just searching like this what schema I have used, what table name I have used. I was searching for SCD type 2 uh, table, so that's why I just searching. Yeah, so I have just selected this SCD type 2 table as a data set. Okay, here in the settings, we need to update. Okay, we don't need allow insert. Okay, so the moment you click on this allow update, it will add one called as add alter row. Okay, one more activities it is asking to update. So it is just kind of a condition we need to give. Update if all the true, we need to give update. If there is a condition update if one is the column is equal to one, we can give. I am just giving an random value like is equal to true. Okay, update. Oh my bad. Okay, if the derived column table is true, then only I will update, then I will go to the sync. Okay, so that's what I've given. I've just given the condition. So right now up to what we did updated the we have changed the derived column from the wherever there is no data, we are considering it was 1. If there is some data, will replacing as 0. Okay, so right now what we did in the half part. Okay, right now we need to do another part, like we need to add one more condition. Okay, what we need to do here, we can draw a new branch. Okay, once we create a new branch, just a second guys, I'm just checking my notes. Once I click this one, city, okay, okay, lookup activity, all this thing, okay, select, we have just given derived, we have done, then alter row, CSV file, okay, sync we have done. Why it is showing like this? We have just added one more thing. Okay, uh, now what we need to do, what we have given one branch. Okay, we have created one branch. In that particular branch we need to add one more activity called select. Okay, we go to select, just a second guys. So I will update, I will tell in detail guys. Okay, so I'm just making my notes where I've just given some, I got some confusion like after this how we need to update the column. Okay, so I have just created a new branch, and then we need to select one more. Yeah, select only. Yeah, correct. We have, okay. Once we have added a new branch, instead of this, we can do the derived column. Okay. So in the derived column, what we need to do in the derived column, we file, okay, incoming stream, we have given CSV file. We have given source from ADLS, source from ADLS. Here we need to give one condition, active active flag equal to 1. Okay. Once I do this data preview, it is not refreshing. Okay. So what I was doing right. So whatever the new record. So these all are the new record. Okay, we are getting from this ADLS. So this new record are I'm storing as one. Okay, this old record I was storing up to this I was storing the old record as zero. As you can see, I am setting this one as zero active flag. Then here I am setting this new record as one. I'm just updating the new record as one. Okay, so after that we need to do the sync option. Okay, so here I will add another sync because up to this I have updated this one as a status 0. Okay, now I need to update the sync again with 1. Okay, so that's why we need to sync. Okay, here again we need to select the same sync. Okay, sync to cd dv. Okay, setting, we need to do this again, inserting only. So as of now I have just updated this 0. So we have used this update here. Then we need to allow insert here. Okay, allow insert here. So yeah, I have added two sync, right? So one is updating for 0 status and one is updating for 1 status. So once I click on this outside, okay, not in any transformation rule, if I click on these settings, I will just get option like which syncs you want to run first. So I will give this sync as run first, sync 1 as run first time, then the second it will run the sync 2. So I'm just giving the numbers, the how this sync will run sequentially. I'm just giving the number. Okay, let me recall all this thing. Okay, what we have done so far. So we have taken one source, okay, which is coming from ADLS. We have some data there. We have got some lookup activity here. We have, okay, then source, from the source we have got some results. In the source from DB we have some setup database in the SQL DB, and here we have selected all the details. Okay, then I am selecting particular columns, not like all this column. I'm just selecting ID and active flag, then I can see all that result. Then in the source one I'm just using lookup activity. Basically what I'm doing, I am taking output of the select one activity, and input from this one and doing some comparison. These two, like it is a normal inner join, okay, whatever the common things are there, it will be showing, okay. You can see like left inner join, okay. Once we got this, we have got this result, all this thing, and whatever results are not there, it is showing null. Then I'm filtering with wherever wherever there is no null, I just want those data only, okay. So I've given like this condition: if there is the columns, this dbid is not null, those records only we want. Then I am selecting the records like only id only. So from here I got this detail, right? I am just from here I am just extracting this id column only, okay. Then here I am replacing wherever the old records are there, right? So I'm just updating this to 0, okay. Then I am adding the sync. Before adding the sync, if there is one condition like if update, then if the update is true, then only it will go to the sync, okay. There is a predefined condition we have need to add, okay. Alter row I have just added. Here again I have just created another branch. From this branch I have just created one derived column. In the derived column again I have added one active flag status. Here I am replacing the zeros to 1, okay. If the records are available, 1 zeros to 1. If the records are um 0 to 1, okay, some new record is coming, right? So those records will be updated to 0 to 1, okay. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just updating to 0 to 1, okay. So like this Bangalore, Delhi, new, all this thing change to 1, okay, because this is the new record which is coming, okay. Then I'm storing the result again into the SQL DB, okay. Hopefully it is bit complex, but let's see how it works. Finger crossed. Let's see how it works. I also don't know it will get pass or fail. Key column sync one doesn't exist. Let's see what is failing. Key column does not exist. Sync key column should be key column should be ID. Key column is ID. Okay. So we are basically depending upon this ID. Okay. So our main primary key column is ID. Okay. So that's what I just confused. Like we need to do this ID or active flag. So as per my guess, we need to update this ID. Okay. Let's run, guys. Validation is correct. Now, what is not showing? Okay. So once we did that, we need to create another pipeline. Okay. SCD type 2, sorry, data flow. Okay. SCD type 2 is okay. Parameter we don't need. So I'm just coming to these activities. I'm just adding one more data flow activity. Here I'm just setting, giving the data flow what I've just created. Now I need to debug it. Let's see how it works. Hopefully it will work. So in the meanwhile, we can just again go and do the activity what we have. We can see like what we have done in the source. We have given from our database. From here I am selecting, okay, from here I am selecting with the respect to id and active flag. Okay, from here I am selecting source from idls. Then in the lookup activity I am taking the output of this one, select an input of this one. Then from here I am just filtering with only this I guess this id is not null. Then from here I am selecting again with only id, I guess only id. Yeah, I am selecting only ids. Here in the derived column I am just updating active flag wherever the status is 0. Okay, then I am updating the status to sync. Okay, again once I update this 0 status, I am updating the 1 status. Again the new record, for new record I'm just updating the 1. Wherever the zeros are there, I'm just updating to 1. Then I'm updating the sync. Okay, still running. Yeah, it got passed. Okay, let's see how it looks in our database. We'll go to this one, we'll hit enter. As of now this is our record. Okay, let's hit enter again. Okay, so like that how I updated, right? Like this I have updated 0000 for the old record, and for new record 1111. So for this Bangalore 000, okay, this for this two it got 0, and for this one, okay, it is also 0, but yeah, because we have 4 also, right, with Noida, because we have not given any name, but again, you have updated. Maybe because of that, it is doing that. Okay, for the new entries, it just updated one. It stored both the records, okay, uh, old entries and new entries. Okay, so like that it will solve our problem, but it is again also it is time taking, because it and memory optimized. It is not memory optimized approach because it is storing old record with new record data. It is not memory optimized data, but again it is mostly used approach. Okay, so you can just uh, just it is a simple like what we normally do. We just don't need any coding, but it is a kind of visualization what you need to do. Okay, I also need to do some practice of this one. Okay, like I agree I need to do some practice. Okay, but I think I have given some good thinking approach to how we can solve this SCD type 2, but there are many different approaches to solve this SCD type 2, but you can follow this one. Okay, how I have showed you. Okay, you do more practice and all this thing. Okay, you can change this from lookup to join, and this filter to derived column. After this derived column you can use filter, all this you just think this as a SQL query. Okay, then but you don't need to write, but you need to visualize what we are doing as of now. Okay, okay, so that's it guys for today's session, and I hopefully I cleared all your doubt. In the next session what we'll do some hands-on, like for this our CI/CD, all this concept. Okay, and we'll start with different session. Integration runtime, we have ADF, data flow. We have some I think for ADF data flow I have covered almost all these topics. So right now we'll go to CI/CD, how we can do CI/CD from Azure, and how we can do this integration runtime. There is another most important topic in the Azure integration runtime. How many types of integration runtimes are there? We'll cover those things in the next session. Okay. Okay, so that's it, guys. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll meet in the next session. Thank you.